Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Madroit Podcast, where it is our job to deliver short podcasts filled with marketing and sales insights that can help your business level up. So, for those who aren't in marketing all day, every day, here's what we're going to deliver to you. You're going to get actionable marketing and business nuggets that take the mystery out of marketing and ultimately help you achieve growth that will help your business. When excited for our episode today, we are tackling the super basics of marketing.
Love it. Who is this episode for?
Yeah, so this is for somebody who's not in marketing very much, or they're just trying to wrap their head around marketing in general, right? Like gaining some basic principles and understanding what they need to be focusing their attention on the most. So, for the folks who need a quick overview of marketing and the basics of it, this episode is for you. So first off, let's tackle the big question out there for this one. It is, what is marketing?
Yeah. At its core, marketing is how you get people interested in your business. It's about creating awareness, building trust, and ultimately driving sales.
It's not just about ads and social media, is it?
Spot on.
So marketing is really every way that your business communicates with potential customers, right? So it's your website, it's your logo, it's how you talk about your business, and even your customer service, right?
Absolutely. Think about it this way. If your business was a person, marketing is its personality and voice. How do you want people to feel when they interact with you? That's marketing.
I love that. Marketing is your personality and voice, I feel like. So why are we doing this episode, right? Why is it necessary to get the basics right? And what are some of the must-haves, you think?
Must-haves, like you have to be online, your website, 2025, right? Your website is your front door of your business. People expect to be able to find you online just like they would find you in real life. So having a clean, functional website is a non-negotiable at this point. What would you say some key points for just a website overview would be?
Well, I would say there's so much out there, but following the very, very simple principle of keeping it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. That's why we say start with the basics. You're not expected to know everything and do everything all at once. Start with the basics, make this foundation really, really strong. So, who you are, what do you do, and how can people get in contact with you, right? Make it frictionless. Just make it simple and easy for them to get in touch with you and have those conversations. So, very simple call to action: book a service, shop now, schedule a meeting, make it very easy for them. And then I think one of the things that you and I talk about, and I want you to dive into this if you would a little bit more, is the levels of accessibility of your website.
Oh, yeah. You can get really in the weeds with accessibility, but for most people starting out, basics of marketing, right? Like it needs to be good and optimized on mobile, right? Like the majority of people, over half of web traffic comes from smartphones now. So if your site doesn't look good or it doesn't load fast enough, you're losing potential customers, clients, patients.
Yeah, easy to get frustrated if there's a website sitting there taking 5 years to come up on your phone.
You mean 3 seconds? Because that's
Yes.
5 years on the internet.
Yes. So that's me being a little bit dramatic right there. We want that to be under 3 seconds for it to load, because audience likely is going to be gone if it takes that long.
Like 1 second, 1.5 seconds, 80% of people leave if the site doesn't load in under 3 seconds.
Yeah, 1000%. And that kind of leads us into another basic principle that we need to really make sure that we have down, which is social media. So I think a lot of folks, we actually just talked to somebody this morning about social media and the need, or not the need, to be on every single platform. How do you go about distinguishing which platforms are right for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to align with what your company business is trying to do and where your audience, i.e. customers, are hanging out at, like the water cooler. So what social media platforms are they on? And then basics of it, like how do you want to interact with people? Actually think about it, like posting for the sake of it is not helpful, right? Like some companies posting once in a while is fine, just to show you're alive. Others, you really need to engage and have people engage with you to make it a worthwhile pursuit. And basics of it is like you're trying to hang out with your potential customers where they're at. Like that's the nutshell version of it.
1000%. I think you're introducing yourself, you're helping people get to know you, and the things that you're doing, the things that you're involved in, the services that you provide, the products you have. But ideally, start small, right? Let's pick one or two that we feel really, really confident about. We've done some research and we know that our audience is on there, and really look to build off of those. But consistent posting, like you said, sharing updates, behind the scenes content, tips and tricks that can help your audience, those are the keys to being authentic on social media and really driving value.
So true. And the authentic part is huge. Like you wouldn't go into a room full of people you don't know and just scream your business name, right? So contributing something to the conversation and being where they're at in an authentic way and respectful way is of course critical.
I am just like getting a vision of that. Somebody just walking into a room and just screaming out, "This is my business name." But I think one thing that we talk about with all of these principles is about building relationships, right? And that's where the authentic content really does play a factor. It doesn't always just have to be about selling, right? Your sales, your promotions, this is what we're doing. Like, that's fine and good. And there's a place for that. However, they also need to feel good about the person that they're doing business with and the way that you go about doing your business. So I think creating trust, showing people that your business solves their problems and meets their needs are some great ways to be authentic and do that. So any other ones that come to mind?
No, I think you nailed it. I'm curious, like, what you think about other basics, like other channels, basic overviews, like paid advertising, SEO. We get those questions a lot, right?
Yes. Yes, we do. And I think having things like paid ads, again, make sure we are authentic. We're delivering on the things that we know that we can do, but there's different routes that we can go with paid ads, right? We can do pay-per-click. We can do retargeting. We can go on different platforms, if it's Google, if it's social, so I think, again, making sure that you have good understanding of what you want out of your paid ads. Is it about raising awareness of who you even are? Is it about driving opportunities, which is what a lot we do for a lot of businesses. So I think having a good understanding of that and what your goals are, and then working with someone or handling that in-house so that there's clear direction of things are going well, things need to improve, or there needs to be changes that are made. But then on the SEO side, what do you think?
Well, actually, going back to the pay-per-click a little bit, like, say you're talking to someone that doesn't know anything about paid ads. Like, how would you describe what paid advertising is?
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to dive into. So essentially, the way that you can structure campaigns through paid ads, I think can be very, very direct, and you can really segment out your audience. So the goal is to have good understanding of who your target audience is, and then to really hone in on them with information and content that is pertinent to what they need, right? Again, to your point about the water cooler, you're meeting them where they're at. You know what they're searching for, you know what they're interested in, and now it's about how can we put the best content around those terms and those keywords to really drive them from becoming a searcher, a shopper, to an action taker. So I think that's the ultimate goal there with paid advertising. So you're essentially paying for those clicks that you get off of those ads and driving them to your site.
So the most basic concept of what paid advertising is, right? Like, there's different versions of it, but like pay-per-click, for example, is literally paying per user click on an ad, whether that's a call and they call directly, or they click to your website and you were trying to get them to do something based on something they're interested in, right? And you do that with target keywords and demographics and geo-targeted areas. But the basics of it is like you are paying per click, and paying like paid advertising, like radio spots or TV commercials or streaming commercials or banner display ads on other websites. But you're paying for impression or view sometimes. Same with social media. You can do paid ads and paid advertising where it's just awareness based, right? The basics of it is like you are paying to get in front of someone and for them to take an action of some sort.
Yeah. I think that's spot on. That's, I think, a great description of those different areas where we can really hit on paid advertising. And I think as we talked kind of about SEO as well with that, so search engine optimization is another great way to get in front of your target audience through using keywords. This is going to be the content that's typically on your website. This is going to be the content that you're using through blogs, This is going to be the way that you describe sections on your website, and really making sure that we're utilizing keyword rich content to drive people to come through organically. Difference between SEO and paid ads is you're not paying for those clicks to come through with SEO. Those are being driven organically, or just to say it plainly, those are being driven for free. And they're finding you, they've searched for your topic, they're finding you because of the content that's on your website. Google's literally raising its hand, or Google's looking at your website and saying, yes, these people provide this service, they provide that product, and we can feel very, very safe and comfortable about telling our audience that they do these things. So as a result of that, you get promoted higher and higher up in Google search ranks, and thus people are able to find you easier. More opportunities come through your website. Everybody's happy.
Absolutely. I know we could go in the weeds on all of this, and so we will try not to, but it's ultimately like a garden that you want to plant seeds in and help flourish, right? Because the returns on it after doing that work are better than paying every single time someone clicks to your website with paid advertising, right? So like, to combine the two, a healthy mix of like combined search engine marketing, right? Combining those two, SEO and paid advertising, it's really a great combination. You want to have a balance there, but we'll stay out of the weeds on that one for now.
Definitely. So let's talk about 2025, Lynn. Here we are. There are so many different things that you can do from a marketing perspective, and they're always changing. But what do you think are some tried and true trends that are here to stay this year?
I mean, in 2025, AI tools are huge in marketing, right? They're huge in business. They're helping to create content, analyze audiences, and personalize your marketing easier than ever. If you're not using AI yet, it's probably time to start. Or the people you're working with to do marketing, they better be using it, right?
Amen.
The efficiency. And I know like you talk about video all the time. Like, what do you think about video in 2025?
It's not going anywhere. Like, video is massive right now. If anything, it's just getting easier and easier to produce in mass quantity. So definitely you should be utilizing video. The amount of people that are looking to watch instead of read these days are increasing more and more. And I think it's also easy way to get quick, fun content in front of folks rather than having to sit down and read for 2-3 minutes. I think just another thing to consider is don't let the trends overwhelm you. Again, stick to the basics, pick a couple that you feel like you can do really, really well, and then we can expand from there. But the overall key, stay consistent. Please do. So I think just a quick analogy to go off of this, right, is just making sure that you have your basics down when there's so many other options around you, and it can be so overwhelming, but you have to kind of be like that lighthouse in a storm, right? The lighthouse remains steady and true, guiding the way for ships. And even as waves crash and others might drift in different directions, and you might think you might want to get pulled somewhere else, you know, your website, your social media, your email, they're all going to act as that guiding light for your target audience to find you and to ultimately want to work with you, right? It's your job to have your content working consistently together so that it brings them all safely ashore.
Love it. You're a poet.
And I didn't even try, I promise.
This was the basics of marketing, right? If you want to go into the weeds, not all the way into the weeds, but into the weeds to learn more, like we have so many episodes about marketing services, marketing channels to approach like different industries. I think if this was appetizing to you, like you want to learn more, good resource. Just check out some of our other episodes.
1000%. But guys, that is our episode for today. So please make sure to like and subscribe to the podcast wherever and however you listen to your podcasts. And if you have any questions at all, or you'd like us to talk about something on the podcast, or you want to get in touch with us even, please visit madroidmarketing.com/podcast. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.